A very important topic I would like to discuss is the fact that no matter how careful you are, no matter how much study you do, there's always something that you're likely to overlook. And in my case, it's called grease traps. That's what we'll talk about, and I'll show you how it gets cleaned up. Stay with me. When I first started looking for condo, of course, I researched on everything, features and such. But one thing I never heard about until after the condo was delivered to me is called grease traps. In the US, I always had garbage disposer. And in some cases, there's no garbage disposer. From the kitchen sink, for example, it goes straight to the drain. But for the first time, I heard of grease trap. And how I found out about this is when I took delivery of the unit, I saw this thing sitting there. And they said it's required by law in the Philippines so that plumbing don't get clogged up because of accumulated grease, which I can understand. At any rate, it needs to be cleaned once a month or once every 3 months, depending on how much dirt you put into the system. So I said, gee, I'll not be able to do this. Besides, it smells bad. That's what I heard. It really smells bad. And with my wife's asthma, it's going to be a problem. But luckily, in the condominium where I'm staying at, housekeeping handles it. So I called them and asked them to clean it up, and I'm going to show you how it gets done. So let's take a look and see. The housekeeper went ahead and opened up the tank, and as you can see, he's mixing it up after putting some detergent into the tank. And this is to help clean it and also eliminate the smell, the bad smell. While he's cleaning this, let's see, he went ahead and ran the water continuously, while at the same time he's pouring some detergent in it, like what I said, not only to help clean it, but also to help eliminate the smell. Then he removes the main filter. That's the main filter. And starts draining or emptying it using, if I can call it that, tabo, using tabo. Okay, so that's a manual process. He continues to clean the sides of all the debris, make sure nothing is sticking to the side. Then he runs the water again and puts some detergent in it, again to help remove the smell and of course to help in the cleanup process. There he spreads the soapy water on the sides and starts draining it again, emptying the tank. He changes the lining on the basin where the dirty water is being put and removes some more. I don't know where they're putting the dirty water, how they're discarding it, but that's how they're doing it. Then he uses a sponge for 2 reasons. One, he puts a soap in it in order to help clean it and at the same time help in emptying the tank. Then he uses, for final finishing touch, a cleaner rug soaked with soap. I don't know what kind of soap, but I'm pretty sure any soap like Dawn will be good. Then he starts keeping all his paraphernalia, putting it together, and takes it out of the condominium. Then before sealing it, now this is now my invention, if you call it that. They don't use this in the Philippines, but when I came to the Philippines, I bought this from the US. I brought a filter, which I hope will help in the cleanup process. I don't know if it's gonna fit, so I bought 2 sizes. And he did not quite know how to install it, or because this is not really intended for grease traps. It's just my own concoction of how to use this, remove the solids more easily in the future. Then he finally figured out it's best to put it on the main filter, cover the main filter, and then put it back. So the next time I clean this, or he cleans it, all we have to do is to remove that and all the solids are gone. And he still has to do some cleanup work on the balance of it, but at least the main solids are gone, which is going to be finer than the main filter. Then he seals the trap and does the cleanup. So this is how it is done. Unfortunately, I cannot, the condominium administration or the management does not want me to remove the grease trap because they said it is required by law. And when I said, well, how come at BGC I saw a unit and they had a garbage disposer? And they said it's because they have a centralized grease trap in this particular condominium. They said in their future developments, the MCIs, they are now using centralized grease traps. So I guess at the time I bought this unit 4 years ago or so, they were not using it yet. It was not available, but now they have a centralized grease trap. Now, of course, back then when I was looking, BGC already had it. Well, maybe the MCI is just slow in getting on with the technology, but now it is available. Now, am I going to say I'm not going to buy this particular unit or condominium development and rather go with somebody else? Not necessarily. And the reason is this. You don't have to do it. You can get somebody else to do it. For example, here in the unit, the condo unit, at least we have it, they only charge 300 pesos every time you do it. That's how much? $6. So plus tip, say 8, make it $10. And you do it only every 3 months. According to this housekeeping guy, every 3 months is fine, is sufficient for you to clean the grease trap. I guess it depends on how much junk you put in there. If you're not putting much junk like I do, I usually put the junk in the trash can and then just wash it. But of course there will be some residuals in the process. That's all I do it, and they said only once every 3 months is fine. So if you're looking at that, you look at maybe how much? It's $40 a year. So it's not bad. It's much cheaper than a trash compactor, not trash compactor, but trash disposer. But I really would prefer to use a trash disposer because it's less hassle. I don't have to go through this process. So guys, this is what I can share with you. So if you are presently or in the future looking for a condominium, this is one thing you need to look into. But is it going to be a deal breaker if it does not have a centralized grease trap? Not necessarily so. So it's up for you, but you need to be aware of it, okay? Well, I'll appreciate it if you share this with other people in case you know of someone who is currently looking or in the future looking for a condominium. I'm sure this will help them a lot. One of the things to consider or to be aware of anyway. And I'll appreciate it if you click like on this video. And please do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a great day and God bless.